So in a normal year, there's trade winds from east to west, from Central and South America over to Indonesia, Australia area. So they're going this direction, and they're pushing the top layer of water, which from the east region, which is warm water, and it's getting pushed with the trade winds, and it's getting caught right here, which causes a lot of precipitation on this side because the water evaporates into the sky and causes precipitation on this side, and it stays over here because the trade wind pushes it over here.
And this also causes the air to warm, and as this is happening, there's a lot of cold water over here, and there's a process called upwelling, which basically means that all of this is still warm water under here, but all of this cold water is being pushed up and down through the ocean, and this brings up a bunch of nutrients and oxygen because cold water has a lot more oxygen, and this brings a lot more fish. So this is a great time for fishing.
So that's just a normal year, but when we get to El Nino year, the trade winds that were pushing everything over before start to slow down, and it causes this warm body of water to spread over here, and it makes everything just about neutral for how warm the water is, which causes both areas, east and west, like eastern and western land, to get just about equal precipitation. And for Indonesia and Australia area, that causes droughts because of how much precipitation they usually get. But for Central and Southern America and a little bit north, it causes a lot of flooding because of the desert-like areas. So it changes the weather in those areas for an amount of time.
Do we want to stop this and talk about?
No, let's keep going.
Okay. Alright, so an El Nino year is when the trade winds are starting to get a lot more stronger. So they're coming in and they're pushing this warm water a lot more out into the Asia, Indonesia, and Australia area. And this causes a lot of cold water here. So obviously this causes a lot more upwelling too. And then so again, this causes a lot of fish to come into this area. So it's a great time for fishing. The opposite, it has a lot of the opposite effects of El Nino. So instead of a lot of droughts over here, it's just causing rain over there and still droughts over here, I believe. It's basically a normal year, but it's a lot stronger.
And it makes the water over here about 4 to 5 degrees colder on average. So it's just a little bit colder than it usually is.